Well, hello. Uh, it's been a hot minute, but I'm trying. I'm trying, people. I've missed filming so much, and there's so many things I want to talk about and film. Um, but today I thought I've got to get ready for a dinner tonight at the club. And I thought, well, I wanted to do kind of like a talk about something while I was doing a get ready with me. And so I thought I'd just see if you like this format. I don't know. I'm sure you'll let me know down in the comments below. But what I'm going to be doing today is, you can see by the title, I'm going to be doing almost a complete look, full face of one of my favorite brands, which is Il Makiage. But I'm also going to do the first of a series that I have been wanting to do, and I told y'all before, I think I mentioned it back in October, about my whole transition this last year. I mean, it's a major life change, and I've been trying to methodically put it out there, think about it, and so I wanted to talk in this video while I'm doing my makeup is the 5 top reasons of why I chose to downsize. So we're going to start with some makeup here real quick and to kind of get this out of the way, and I want to show you. So my face is clean. I've done some skincare today. It's in the afternoon because I just needed to be fresh for the meeting tonight. So I'm going to start off with a primer that I use from them and that I really like, and it's called the Power Lift. Y'all may have seen this on IG or Facebook, the ads, but this is a primer and a plumping cream, and I love that it has its own little silver magnetic spoon. But here's what it looks like inside. It's like a gel type, and it's got its own little scooper here that I was talking about. So I'm just going to get out a little bit of scoop, and it's very slick, kind of say. I'm just going to put this on my face all around. I'm hoping the lighting is here. It's been very difficult trying to get the lighting here on here, so I kind of want to just get this part going here so it can be set it up a second, and then I'm going to show you something else that I got recently from them that I'm really enthused about. So I'm going to let that be doing its thing. Now, so if you're new to my channel, welcome, and I am 65 and a half now, and I am retired. My husband early retired from his career at the railroad and is now back working in a field that he absolutely loves. And it was kind of what he did before he went into the railroad years ago. So, but we downsized this past summer, and we went from a 4-bedroom home, 2,500 square feet, to currently an apartment that is 819 square feet. So, but there are so many reasons as to what happened, as to why and how those decisions came about, and a lot of people thought that it might be beneficial. I am going to give my under eye a little bit of attention here, and this is by the City Beauty. Oops, almost too much here. I Revive Affirming Serum. I'm just going to stick it on a little bit under my eyes right here. The only thing I've done before this, otherwise it's a skincare, was my eyebrows. So I just went ahead and did that. So I'm filming on my phone right now. I don't have a setup in this apartment to do like with my my big camera and my studio lights and all of that stuff. And I even got rid of my studio lights in the move. but let this kind of soak. But one of the first reason what happened was, as you get older, you just get, I don't know, the stuff you just don't want to do. And I never did like yard work per se. I would plant flowers and that's about it, and pull weeds. And I am totally convinced that this damage to my finger is from pulling weeds, because I'm so OCD about it that I couldn't pass one without pulling it, and it just, I just couldn't stop. And so this is going to be on the agenda to have surgery to get this fixed. But so there was just so much maintenance. Our house was 20 years old, and there's always something, always something. Before we move on, I'm going to show you really quick. I'm going to go ahead and get this going. This is Il Makiage's, it's their uncensored ultra maximizing instant plumper. And this is the clear one. What I like to do, and I'm going to get my mirror here so I can really see what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and get this sucker to working. And I am going to take it, and I'm going to the color of the outline of my lip. Okay? Even just a little bit past it. Now, I don't know, I don't have a lot of lip lines. I was not a smoker, because you know, you can spot a smoker's lips a mile away. So I'm just putting this out there, because it takes a few minutes to really start working. It's got peppermint oil in it. So that's important for people who are allergic to that. My daughter is. She can't wear this. So I am going to let that start doing its things. And I really like, I mean, to me, the sensation doesn't bother me. It tingles. It doesn't burn. It tingles. So that is going to be sitting there doing its thing. So back to the maintenance thing. What happened? I'm getting lost here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, I don't have my table anymore. I had everything set up some more and I don't. So I've got to work on that. One of the things that really started our conversation was Patrick working all week, and then on the weekend, he's just like, God, I got to do the yard. I got to do this. I've got to do that. Got to do this. Well, we started talking about, well, okay, how much is it going to cost to have somebody to come and do that? I already had somebody coming in every 2 weeks to help me with the house, because I couldn't get the ceiling fans. I couldn't get the blinds. So much that I couldn't get to. And that was a huge help to me. So, but the real kicker, I think what really got our conversation started was when spring came out this last year, our grass did not. Okay, I am using the Il Makiage concealer, and this is the color 02, it looks like. It's very small on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as a base for some eyeshadow, because I got a little bit of a oily lids here. So I'm just going to use this as my eyeshadow base. This is really a hard setup for me. So please just bear with me. I'm going to use my Angie Hot and Flashy A506. But what the yard, a lot of people in our neighborhood lost their yards. And we weren't sure. Some people thought it was grubs. Well, we knew that it couldn't be, because we had had grubs take our yard before. So for I don't know how many years, we were getting a grub treatment twice a year, and to the tune of $800 a year for that. Because of so many people having it, they figured out, I think it was like a fungus or something. Not everybody got it. My next door neighbor did. The other next door neighbor did not. People across the street did not. Another one did. So, I mean, it was just really, really strange. But because so many people had lost their yards, the price, it was going to be $4,000 for us to replace our front yard. And this, in 12 years, this would have been the third time. The first time we did it, it cost us $600 because we bought the grass and we did it ourselves. I can't do that anymore. Patrick can't do that anymore. He's had, you know, spinal fusion, 3 shoulder surgeries. It's just like, no. So we started looking at all of this. So many things, so many. It's the little things that you just sit down and you think about and you add up. And that's what we started doing. I started an Excel spreadsheet of everything that I had been paying out on this house. And, you know, we didn't have grandkids. We just still don't have grandkids. All right, so we're going to go into the eyeshadow. And their eyeshadow is called the Color Boss Quad. And this color is the real deal. And I'm see if I can show you. It's a beautiful compact silver. Of course, it shows every fingerprint on it, but heavy duty, magnetic closing. And here are the colors, if you can see those. They're very pretty. They're very me. So I'm going to go in with, oh, I've got a little mirror here on this one. Maybe I'll just use this one here. I'm going to go in with a little, this is a Refer 02. And I'm just going to put this light shade right here. It doesn't have a color. They do have colors on the back, I think, too. But I'm just going to go on the lid. These days, I'm doing everything easy peasy. So, but, you know, one of the other things that had happened, we decided to, it was with the internet. We were having troubles with the internet, and we had the cable that was the neighborhood cable, not satellite, but just the one that was put in when the neighborhood was there. And we had the boxes in our yard, but those lines were from the original, from when they were put in. So they were over 20 years old. So the lines in the ground were very old. And after the third guy that came out, who was because it was just not getting fixed, he happened to be a manager, and he said, they're not going to put any new lines in. He said, I just need you to know that. And he said, honestly, he said, I just get a digital antenna and stream everything. So we started talking about that and see how much money it would, because I wanted a faster internet. And so we got that, but it's the cable part of the TV that was just messing up. It'd mess up in the middle of baseball games, in middle of movies. It was getting very, very frustrating. So they came out and they said the wires inside the house were old as well. So they said they would replace those. Long story short, they came out and replaced it. And it was during a time that we weren't using the HVAC system because the temperatures were nice. And when we went to turn it on, about a week later, it wasn't working. They had cut one of the cords, but we couldn't prove it. So the HVAC company, we had to pay for that. I think it was like $800 and something. It was just like, it was just something constantly. And it was just getting to the point. So we started really thinking about, what are we spending this on, and are we enjoying this? And even, I'm gonna come back in here. Hold on, I'm gonna come in with this dark right here. Dark, it's a brown. And I'm just gonna, this is a, what is this? It's a Angie Hot and Flashy 504 by BK Beauty. So I'm just gonna kind of do it here in the corner. So when I was doing my spreadsheet and started looking at the amount of money that we were paying out, and something, here's what had happened too, we noticed that our property taxes, since we bought that house, had gone up 62%. Our homeowner's insurance had gone up 58%. It was just, it was such an eye-opening experience, just sitting there and looking at every single thing that we were paying out. And we had to really figure out how we wanted to live. So we started talking, and you know, we already decided, number one, that we were tired of the upkeep, that we didn't want to do it anymore. We just didn't. And we didn't want to pay to have somebody else do it either. We wanted to spend our time doing stuff we wanted to do. Not that we were just tied to that house to do constantly. So that was the number one. It was just all of the dang maintenance and the expense of the maintenance. Number two, been looking at that spreadsheet, we realized, I'm sorry here, how much money we were spending and how much money we could save. And by doing that, because that was number two, that would bring us to number three, which is financial security for now. So we wanted to save money now, and we wanted to have some financial security now. So that was, once we figured that out, it was just like we just dove in. But it was even like the utilities. You know, when we would have a cold snap, remember that time where Texas, we were, you know, without power for several days and stuff. We had it intermittently and everything. I got a $500 gas bill that month. And that wasn't even with the electric bill, just the gas bill. And I started asking people that I knew that lived in apartments, what kind of electric utility bills were they paying? And different questions and stuff. So I was able to do a gauge of what we're spending now as to how much we could spend then and what we could be saving. And once we started doing that, looking at that, it was amazing. Another thing was, we're going to go to number 4 here, was the stuff. Oh my goodness. The amount of stuff that you can get into a $2,500 square foot home was just crazy. I'm just going to take a soft blending brush and just kind of blend that in there. When my parents, after my parents died, all the stuff that I wanted and felt obligated to keep, I put up in the attic, and Pat did too. And you know what? We hadn't touched that stuff. We had maybe 1% of it that was downstairs in our house with us. Everything else was up in the attic. So, and I know my kids didn't care a hell of beans. They didn't know what it was. And you know the thing, it was torture for us to have to do that when our parents passed away. I'm going to go back into this kind of a cream shimmery and just kind of put some of that on the lid, just to brighten that up a little bit. Right there. All right, I'm going to take this same Rephr 2 brush, but I'm going to go into this copper color right here a little bit, and I'm just going to go into it just a little bit straight on, and I'm going to run this underneath my lashes right there, just right there. We didn't want our kids to have to do this, so that brings us to number 5. This was a gift to our kids that they didn't have to come and do. And that was extremely important to me because we both had to do it. And it wasn't fun and it wasn't pleasant. And did they look at it as a gift? Not at that point. I think they will one day. But it was eye-opening to see how much clutter. I had so many sets of dishes that I hadn't even touched in years. So much stuff for one person. I felt so guilty when I looked at all that stuff and thinking, why did I need all this stuff? I will never use it. I had the space, so I put it there. So I had gotten my mind to this more simple place. And that just got me going. And it was, you know, we've been here a little over 6 months now. And now, it is not the end apartment here. We love this apartment complex and we want to stay here. It's not the exact apartment we want for the long haul. But I'm more than happy to wait for it because I absolutely love the location and I love the apartment complex. So here's what I'm doing. These are those Almay iPads. So I'm just kind of cleaning up a little bit just to make sure that there's a clean line there. And I'm going to go back here with some concealer as well here too in a second. So, but that I'm just doing a little bit on that. I've got a eyeliner from Il Makiage, and this is called Oreo, which is kind of like a brown black. So what I'm going to do here really quick is just kind of just go into the lash line here. On like the outer half here of that. Then I'm going to take that Rephr brush that I used, and then I'm just going to kind of smudge a little bit. On top of that. And then I'm going to go in underneath into the lash line from underneath, and it helps define the eye as well. And I'm going to do the same over here. So I'm going to put my mascara on last. I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation, which is, this is the Il Makiage Woke Up Like This. And this is in number 10, which is a very fair complexion. But what is kind of cool about it is, I lost the brush. Hold on, let me go find it. All right, I'm going to take the Il Makiage Woke Up Like This foundation, and this is in 010, which is a very, very fair foundation. But what I like to do is put it on and let it sit for just a minute or so while I'm doing maybe my mascara or something like this, because it almost like it self-adjusts on my face. So I'm just going to, it really doesn't think, I love it. It's a nice sturdy glass bottle. So there's one pump, and I'm just going to kind of go to it as I need it. I'm going to get it all over my brush here. I'm going to show you this if I can, if you can see this, if I can get up close here and everything. So, oh, got a hair there. Yeah. It looks like really light, but it will blend in. And it's kind of hard to talk while I'm doing this, but people say, oh, well, it looks so light when you put it on your skin. Well, it really does just, and I can't explain it, but it does self-adjust on me. So, and I'm just going to take that up there. I need another pump. Can you see that? I think it's a beautiful coverage. But you know what we did may not be for everybody, but this is what worked for us as far as downsizing. It just, because of our circumstances, everybody's different, you know. It just, I could see what was going in the world, and our property values had gone up. They were at their peak the year before, but we still got out, even with everything we had to do. We had to repair the foundation, the roof. Oh my God, I'm still pissed about that. It's just like, we paid insurance all this year's homeowners insurance, never filed one claim, and our roof was functioning, but it was just old, and the buyer couldn't get coverage because there was no hail damage, none. It was just old. There was no leaks. It was just old, so therefore they wouldn't cover it. So we had to pay for that out of our proceeds. So fortunately, because of the values, we were able to walk away with money and put money in a good place that's making money. And that is a wonderful place to be with financial security. So, everybody's situation is different, but we wanted some financial freedom, and we didn't want to be leaving our kids with an old house to take care of, full of old stuff. we didn't want to do that. We couldn't, So what, we are happy that we made the decision that we did. It was an adjustment. We're still making adjustments. I mean, it's just, when you lived one way for a long time, it's a huge change. It is a huge change. And it's not for everybody, but it's what worked for us. So, all right, while this is the foundation, before I do anything else on the foundation, I am going to use I'm going to do some mascara. And I always like to put a primer on. Y'all seen me do this for years. And I'm just using this is not Il Makiage. This is just the Essence primer that I use all the time. I think it's like $5. So I'm just going to put a little bit on here. I'm just simple. I just want simple. I've always had a classic style, but now I am bringing simple into my life as well. I think because of not only everything that we did this last year that has opened our eyes to the simplicity of living and getting more enjoyment out of it. It's happening in every episode. With being in a small place, it's like I have to love it if I bring it in here. I can't just buy something just to buy it. Even the smallest thing, I have to love it. If I don't love it, I don't care. If I love it, I don't care how much it is. If I can afford it, I'll get it. But if I don't absolutely love it, even if it's something at the thrift store, if it's something I can't use multiple ways, and I know that it's going to last, be a good quality, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to buy just to buy. So, I'm using Il Makiage's mascara. Does it have a name? let's see, Black Card is the name of the mascara. It's a really skinny wand, which are my favorite, I think, unless you're just wanting to put a whole bunch on at a time and then work through it. But it's an interesting, I've seen other ones like this to where it's different. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's different on the sides. I mean, it's not a normal, it's not saying it's not normal. It's not your conventional eyelash or mascara wand, I should say. And so I'm going to do that one coat, and then I'm going to come over here and do the other one real quick. I'm going to come in, I'm going to do another coat of mascara on the top lashes. All right, so all right, so I've got the two coats of mascara on, and then I did just a waterproof. It's a different brand that I put on the bottom of it because I had the leaky eye syndrome. So, all right, so the foundation feels like it is set, okay? And, you know, I'm very, very fair complected, and I noticed that I'm even, I don't know if you can see or not, but even like a scar that I have here has turned white. That happens with age. It's just like you lose some of the melatonin in your skin, which I don't think I had any to begin with. So, so yeah, so this is fair complected. So what I'm going to do, let's warm up the face. And what I'm going to do that with is their bronzer, which is, it's a mineral baked bronzer. And this is probably their lightest shade, and it's called Wannabe. And I want to show you here. So it is a beautiful light bronzer. So I'm just going to use a brush here. And I don't go heavy with it because when you're fair complected, you don't want to go too much, you know. So I'm just going to go pretty light there with that, but just, you know, it's just making my cheekbones kind of stand out a little bit. The apartment that we really want is a 2-bedroom, and it has a little dining area as well too. That's what I miss the most, I think, is actually having a table and chairs to sit down and have dinner, like when my kids come over. So that is, and we want it overlooking the pond. Hopefully on the first floor. I can't do stairs right now, so we would love to have it on the first floor. Maybe, you know, we'll just have to see what comes up. You know, if one comes on the second floor, if I can do stairs, we may do that. If not, I will have to pass. So I'm still trying to get this. I'm sorry. You can see my roots here. My lovely hairdresser, her daughter has got sick and had to have surgery. So she's been out with her. So I'm just patiently waiting. So I'm just kind of hitting the high points up here for warming up the face. Put just a little bit under that chin right there. A little jowls. All right, I'm going to bring out the blush now. Oh, whoops. And the blush is also a mineral baked blush, and this is called Big Spender, and it's a kind of a peachy pink. It kind of reminds me of NARS Orgasm. So, but it goes really, it's a really soft color, and it goes really pretty with that bronzer right there. Can you see that? And get this other. I don't have like a regular handheld mirror, which if I continue to do makeup here, and y'all tell me what you think below. Do you want to see me talking through some of these videos doing makeup? I'm thinking the next one that I'd like to do about this whole series is how we went, what the process was, how we went through the downsizing. This today was why we did it, but I think there is more information about what and how we did it. And then I'd like to show you the neighborhood, our apartment complex, and why we chose this one so much, and then what I've done in here in the apartment, how I have picked, you know, what I put in here and how I'm saving spaces. You know, and you know why this is a big one too. Why I brought the things that I did. Why I chose what I did to bring with me. So, that's another one I'd like to do. So if these are topics of your interest about downsizing, you know, retirement, early retirement, you know, I can talk about why I retired early, and also what I've learned about Medicare. That's a good one. That is an education in itself. So that is the blush. So let me put the lid on before I mess it up. What I'm going to do is go back into my, really quick, the eyeshadow palette. This shade right here, which is a shimmer, I'm just going to get a little bit on my finger and then just lightly graze it right there. Careful to stay out of the crow's feet. You don't want to highlight those. I'm going to take a little bit on the bridge of my nose. I'm going to take a little bit under my brow. Just a smidgen, just a little bit. And put it up there. Okay, so now we're getting ready. We're almost done. We're going to get ready to do the lips real quick. And what I want to do is, because I put that lip plumper on there, Well, I'm just going to blot it off a little bit. So what I'm going to do, and y'all have seen me do it in a video before, where I take the bronzer and I do a contour a little bit on the lips. So to get the fullness. Looking at the time, okay. I have to go across town. So I'm going to take my bronzer and with this little bitty pointy brush, okay, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, got the Kleenex on it. Okay, that was a mess. Okay, I'm going to go just slightly above the lip right there. Creating just a little bit of a shadow. And then I'm going to do the same underneath. All right, so that's all about the bronzer that I'm going to do with the shadow. And now I'm going to go with the lip liner. And the lip liner that I'm using is Il Makiage, and it's called, it's waterproof lip liner in Antique. And it's kind of a dusty dark pink. And I'm just going to line my lips real quick. And I'm going to fill in a little bit, turn it on the side. Okay. And for the lipstick, what I'm going to be doing is another one of their lip plumpers, which this one is KSW, I believe is what it is. KDSFW. It is so small. I don't know. Let's see. KSFW is what it is. And here it is right here. So I'm going to as you can see that color, it's a beautiful color. And I'm taking it all the way to that lip line. All right, so there's the makeup. So hold on, I'm going to take my hair down and I'll be ready in a second. All right, so I've took the hairs out of the rollers out of my hair. And what I do is I took my my straightener and I kind of just went up to give it body, and then take it with a slight curl. And then I took one of those Velcro rollers while it was still hot and rolled it up and let it sit like that, let it cool off in that, because that's how you get some of the body, is letting it cool in that shape. So I wanted to show you too what a lot of people, or some people had mentioned before. They said something about they never see me put on, when I do my makeup, sunscreen. And I don't do it the way everybody else does it. Sunscreen, you know, is really 2 hours. So by the time I put it on and put on my makeup on and do everything else in this time, and I go out, and you know what? It's time to reapply. And I'm not going to reapply cream sunscreen on top of my makeup. So what I do, and I've been doing this for years, I have several that I use, but this is the one I've got right now. And this is by Kate Summerfield, and it's an SPF 50. And it's a soft focus makeup setting spray, SPF 50. So when I was in real estate, when I was working, I kept one of these or one of the other brands in my car at all times, because who knows if I was going to get out caught shopping with clients on land somewhere, and we're going to stand out there and walk an acre. We're going to look at build jobs and look at different lots and stuff, and we're out there in the sun, and you're sitting in your car, you know, all day, or, you know, driving around. I mean, it's just, it always looked glamorous, but it was brutal. But so this is, let's see if I can show you here. My finger doesn't work very well either. See, it's a fine mist. So this, and yes, it smells like a sunscreen, but this lasts for 2 hours. And if I need to reapply, guess what? I'm not going to mess up my makeup. So what do you think of the Il Makiage makeup? And here you can see that the foundation, can you see that it matches my neck? Now I did put a little bit of the bronzer right there, just a smidgen right there. But yeah, I am truly that fair. So, and something else too, I'm getting ready to go to the club, so I was going to show you this. My daughter, she was so sweet at Christmas time. You know, we just make a big deal about doing each other's stockings, and with all the little goodies and stuff. And she came across this, and she said, "Mom, I know you love gardenias." I do. I love gardenias, and it's a childhood thing. And she found this for me. In something that she had gotten some samples, and she said, "Mom, what do you think of this?" And it's the Tocca, T-O-C-C-A, Florence. And it is a Parisian sophisticate, Italian bergamot with crushed violet petals, paired with rich gardenia and sophisticated blonde woods. It is just, it's so, I don't know, it reminds me of my aunts that had the gardenia, huge gardenia bushes in their yard and everything, and they let me pick them and play with them. I even had gardenias in my wedding bouquet, because it was just, it meant so much to me, and because it was such a childhood memory. So, do you have a childhood memory? Tell me below. But tell me what you think. What do you want to see from the retirement and the downsizing series? And have you tried any of the Il Makiage? Have you seen any of my ads running on Il Makiage? So, but what do you think of the makeup? All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for letting me ramble and spend some time with you. I miss you guys. So, I'll see you soon. Remember, ladies, what I tell you every single day, to get up and show up, because you're worth it. So until I see you in my next video, have a wonderful day.